Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. A little overwhelmed because I'm doing something new with my budget and this month, which was taking my spending categories and putting them all on my credit cards. Just one credit card, not multiple credit cards, and accumulate points on that credit card with the purchases. So, and that's what I've done. And I am coming up with a whole new system, and you're watching me go through the struggles of that. So what I have done is go ahead and set up my weekly check-in. I've already got it all filled in. I actually had this filmed once before and then realized I wanted to make some changes because there's this thing with credit cards, sometimes they're pending and they don't clear for a number of days, and then that pushes it into the next billing or next pay cycle. And so yeah, it's going to be a little different. So that's what I had to figure out. So I went ahead and did all of the weekly check-in separately and came up with the numbers, and we are going to process the rest of it out through the paycheck to paycheck, closing out paycheck 3. I've already set paycheck 1 up for the month of April in a previous video, but I want to close this out so I can get the balance forward going into the next pay cycle. So that's what we're doing today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. If you have questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below of anything that I do and how it works. If you're struggling to work on yours, yeah, just let me know. I'd love to help out. And if you watch my channel regularly, welcome back. I'm excited to have you here. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and pop my weekly check-in out. I'm going to pop out the credit card log that I track all this in, and kind of show you a few things. I will flip to my calendar here for my weekly check-in, and what that shows is where the transactions are, and I will show you where I had to stop. So I stopped my transactions here on Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday, I usually go from Friday to Thursday. These 2 days I did spend, but they're not going to clear before, because today is the 31st, they're not going to clear in time for me to count that in the month. So I'm going to move those over to my April, which I've already done. I just got to find my calendar. Here's the calendar, and I used the stickers for the month of March and the month of April on the days that they happened, and then I can include these with the weekly check-in here. So when I count things from the 1st to the 7th, I will include these as well, but I will only include on these transactions the whatchamacallit, that week's what's cleared that week. So it's going to be going forward, it's a little bit difficult. So that's what the check marks are going to come in handy, because once I put down on the day that the purchase was made, I will only check off the ones that actually cleared and then make my weekly payments to my credit card, or maybe bi-weekly. I haven't decided how I want to do that. I've been randomly paying it throughout the month, but this is the first time I'm closing out my budget with that. So I do have the transactions. These were on these days. This is March, let's see, 31st, 30th, and 29th. They just have not, they're still pending. They have not cleared yet. So I have that, and I've already, like I said, I've already kind of done this part. So we'll just quickly go over this part, and then we'll do the paycheck closeout and the results video for the month of March, and move on to April. Sometimes starting a new system is just kind of difficult, but if it seems to be something you want to do, then just with a little time, a few months, 2 or 3 months working on it, it'll be easy, old hat again, and you can just fly through it easily. So that's the changes I am making. My paycheck budget, let's see, is back here. So we'll be filling these numbers out. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, here we are. So our weekly check-in. This was the month where we had some overtime money, and we just kind of went right through it. So we were over budget on categories all month long. with inflation and just happy spending and just choosing to spend. So sometimes every few months or so, we give ourselves a break on the budget and we give ourselves permission to overspend. I normally would count this as over budget, unbudgeted items instead of and keeping the rest in budget, but because I really wanted to know how much we were spending in that category, I just left it in the categories and let it ride. So I didn't bother with the unbudgeted. Usually unbudgeted means it's a surprise bill or something, you know, significant that I wasn't aware was going to happen, but did happen. Here it was just us choosing to spend the buffer of the checking account. So there's that. Now, I did say a minute ago, everything goes on the credit card. So you're like, if you have a high enough credit limit, what makes the difference of spending just on the credit card and the buffer of the checking account? Well, you want to make sure that when you are paying your credit card off every month, that the buffer of the checking account can handle that. Now, buffer means different things to different people. It's a buffer, it's a rollover, it's a cushion. It has many different names. But the truth is, what is it there for? Why is it there? If it's strictly just emergency, then no, don't do something like this. If it's strictly there to take the hit of, like, when utilities go up or down and you don't know what they're going to be until they actually are drafted out of your account, or what you actually get in the bill, things like that, then no, you don't want to mess with the buffer of your checking account. If you know that buffer of the checking account was, like in our case, extra overtime money that was not really allocated to anything. We didn't give it a name. We didn't give it an assignment other than sit in the buffer of the checking account. Then, you know, those are times sometimes you get tempted to have a little fun and just spend on things. And that's what we did this month. So let's see, where are we at? We had $118 in grocery spending. We had $103.81 in restaurant spending. We had $63.95 in miscellaneous spending on top of the other lots of miscellaneous spending that we did earlier this month. And we still had $71 left in gas. That was only because my husband worked from home instead of going to the office or where he travels for work. So we didn't need to spend it, though I think he might get gas today. I'm not sure, but he's leaving on Sunday. So we'll see. Things are kind of crazy around here. But yeah, going forward, this is what we have as far as what we spent. Now, week 4 and week 5 is paycheck 2 of our paycheck to paycheck budget. So I break them down every week, hoping to stay within the boundaries of the budget. April will probably be one of those months. Like I said, my husband is not going to be here. He is traveling on business and gone again for a couple months or so. We'll see. I don't know how long it's going to be gone, but I do know that there are people in place to relieve him so he can come back home. He is a contractor for the Navy, and they go out to the ships periodically and they rotate between contractors. So there is that. Here is the calendar part. Now, I didn't mark anything here because what was spent on these 2 days and this day, these 3 days on the credit card went to April because the pending has not cleared. Now, this McDonald's, my husband actually put on the debit card for some reason, and so it's already cleared and taken out of the checking account, so no problem there. So here's the Walmart grocery for $118. I purchased stickers for miscellaneous, her Courage to Plan on Etsy, and I talked about her in my scripture writing channel because I purchased a lot of stickers for, she has scripture quotes and faith quotes and stuff like that that I really thought were cute and I wanted, so I got those. And Papa John's pizza for my sons, and then my husband and I dined out at Why Not and on Friday. And then I ordered something on Amazon. Oh, these tweezers. I lost my tweezers and I've been so lost without them. These are the ones I like. I just type in curved tweezers and then I order these, and it's like $7-8. And then I got a new cutting paper cutter to cut things, scraps of paper and stuff like that. And that's a Fiskars, Fiskars, Fiskars. And it's really nice. I see a lot of people use those for crafting, and so I got one of those. And then on Sunday, my husband decided to get Arby's at lunch. So I did not eat it, he did. This day we all got something, but I only got a sandwich. I didn't get the fries or a drink or anything like that. So, and it was a McChicken sandwich. It was very small. Anyways, so that is the weekly check-in, and I've closed that out. So now we're going to move on to Paycheck 3. Now, before I go too far in Paycheck 3, the credit card log I use, this is what it looks like, and I highlight it with my categories that I use in my account all the time. And I haven't quite filled this out yet because I made a payment. But anyways, what I know is not going to be part of March's credit card log, I went ahead and put the letter A for April right next to them. And these are the transactions that you saw on the other calendar for April. That is, even though I purchased them in March, it's not going to clear until April, and then that's when it will count. Oh, the other thing on my calendar I didn't show was I also tracked what the points look like. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I figured out what the points represent. So when I started for the points, it was 28,247 points. So when I ended my points at the end of the month, today I looked at it, it was 30,311, which means the way they do this, and I was looking, what is the cash value, is you kind of move the decimal point 2 places. There we go. And that means a cash value of $303.11, which is cash value. So it's the first time I was tracking it. I did it from the 20th of March to the 31st of March. And that's, oops, I'm not even on screen. And that is where I am at with my cash value on my points right now. I think I'm going to just track the cash value points in the calendar section. So I'll probably go to April's calendar, move this number over, starting the month, and then see what the month ends. I'm not in a hurry to cash them out. I just want to know what it looks like. And is this worth continuing? Now, the first $200 of it, or $280 of it, was just me starting out. I don't know what the previous bills, what it looked like, but I was only putting $200 a month on my credit card anyway. Some months were higher, some were lower. So I just want to see how it works. And the points go up based on what I purchased. So if it's gas, they're triple the points. If it's restaurants, it's double the points, and everything else is single points. So yeah, getting cash back though is right now kind of important, but only if you can keep your credit card paid off. It's not worth it if you have to pay interest on a credit card and you get cash back, and your cash back is pennies compared to the interest. So, you know, don't get sucked in the game if you're going to be in over your head. So there's that. And now to Paycheck 3. Paycheck 3, not much changed here, thankfully. So we're going to take this, and $3,514.34 is what we have. I'm going to ignore this Visa right here because I really don't, I know how much I paid on the Visa, but my ultimate goal, because I had the balance in the checking account of what I needed after paying everything else, was $415.76. So I'm going to force this budget to look like this and then move forward, because I know this is the amount that was in my checking account, even if I'm off a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and come up here to the grocery household, and I am looking at my screen here, and I am determining this paycheck period, how much total we spent. So that was $414.67. Then we had $240 for restaurants and 10 cents. Miscellaneous, we had a whopping $427.41. And then gasoline, we had $78.89. All right, so now I gotta find my calculator. And we'll move this over. Get this all on screen. All right, so what we're going to do here is find out the totals. $306.28 minus the $414.67, and that gave us the number you saw in my weekly check-in, negative 108.39. All right. The $220.12 minus the $240.10, and that is $19.98. And then we're going to do negative $393.88 minus $427.41. And that gives us the negative $821.29, and then $150.01 minus the $78.89, and that's a positive. Woohoo! The only thing we did well this month is $71.12, and we are check and check when it comes to our spending categories and what we actually spent, my actuals from the weekly check-in. These match. Okay, so now that we match everywhere, what I need to do is come up with this number down here. So what I'm going to actually do is take $3,514.34, which is the total amount deposited, and I'm going to subtract, I'm going to cheat, I'm going to reverse engineer this kind of, subtract $415.76. Here we go. All right. So that means my expenses should be $3,098.58. Now, I still have one part I need to figure out. This is kind of like algebra without using X, but that is my X. So what I need to do is I'm going to total all these expenses up and subtract that from total expenses, and that'll give me what went on the Visa, because I did not really track that. I did, but I didn't in the right way. So I just need to reverse engineer it. Since I already know the answer is $415.76, that's balancing forward to April, I can just kind of go backwards from here. So, and I'll make the budget work is basically what I'm doing. So here we go. I'm going to total this up and I'll be right back. Okay, there's my answer. So I believe I have the correct answer because in my Excel sheet, this is the same number that I have there. $366.63 went, in addition to my spending categories, went to the credit card. So that makes this balance and payment. So part of that was, you know, part of what I was putting on the Visa, because I normally pay my Visa, it's always due on the 24th of every month. So part of what I have to do is anything that went on there that were part of the bills, and this was part of the bills that I hadn't quite paid yet, I let them accumulate all month. And then, and I'll show you that part here, these bills, I let these accumulate all month, and then I make the payment. So there were a few purchases on the credit card that wasn't really tracked in categories that need to be taken care of for, and that's what we've done. So I have a whole new system going into April, and I will, when we get to April and do the first weekly check-in, I will show you how that works. You kind of saw some of that a minute ago. I want to go ahead and clear this out here and kind of do this and zoom out, and I will show you what April looks like. But you saw a little bit of a minute ago, I think, how I plan to do that. So I will be right back. Okay, Paycheck 3. So everything is closed out in Paycheck 3. I close out my weekly check-in. These match my weekly check-in. I am balancing forward to the next month, $415.76. That is what is in my checking account. I've already gotten that number and we are good to go. Let's see. I also have done monthly. I haven't totaled it, but I did my monthly budget here. And so take this out, and you know what, I want to take this out too. It's in the way. There we go. Sorry about the noise. Okay, so here's the monthly budget. It basically says the same thing as the paycheck to paycheck. It's just all condensed in 2 pages at a glance. If you do a monthly budget instead of the other, then this will give the totality of the income and then the totality of the expenses and income minus expenses for the end of the month. I haven't done those numbers yet, and that's okay. But what I wanted to show you here is, and I'll just kind of zoom in just for a second. Here, grocery household, I was 108 over, but I budgeted $1,200 for the month. So I was over budget. If you total all these over budgets together, $878.54. So that light is right on there. There you go. And so between these budgets here minus that right there, that is the negative that we come up with here for over budget. So yeah, that's my spending categories right there, over $800 in spending extra on top of what I had already planned for all these categories. But that happens. So there we go. The month is over. We're going to start refresh and for a whole new month. Okay, so now that overview is done. Like I said, Paycheck 3 was closed out, and then weekly check-in, everything was closed out. Here, I am advancing forward anything that has not cleared on the credit card to April, which I denote with an A right here. And then, let's see, the calendar, as soon as I find it. Well, actually, for the credit card log, these 4 transactions are going to be totaled together and put here. And a payment was already made this morning, and that's why my account was down to $415. And I have these 4 transactions here combined equal $180.15. So that's what I'm starting with, what I owe in April, minus $24,000, which leaves us an available credit of $23,819.85. So I just balanced everything forward for April 1st. So my credit card log is ready to roll. I don't really want to rewrite out all of the transactions. That's just going to tell me, okay, I balanced it forward. I can look at March's numbers and go, oh, that's what I balanced forward. So it's no big deal. Trying to find the calendar. That's Paycheck. Weekly check-in, and then here we go. So those 4 transactions you saw at the end of March on this here are these 4 transactions here. And then, like I said before, I will count that as part of the weekly check-in as things are no longer pending and go forward. But as you see here, I already have stickers laid down for specific bills that are going to be put on the credit card instead of having them over here on the side. These are the bills. And if I knew how much exactly what it is, I'm going to have it already on here. And if I don't, I will put it on once it happens. And yeah, I just have that set up already in here. So all I have to do with the weekly check-in, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to include like these numbers where I already have the amounts that I know, plus anything for the week. So it'd be these 2 blue and these 4 green totaled on top of my weekly amounts. So every week, my grocery household's going to be $300. Every week, my restaurants are going to be $125 or whatever. Or let's see, how much do I have that? So what I do know is I'm doing $1,200 again for groceries divided by 4 weeks, because I'm doing 1, 2, 3, and then 4 weeks. And because this is an extra payday, that's going to cover these days. So I'm not going to worry about those, and they'll go on next month's bills. But $1,200 divided by 4 for the month is $300 a week. So basically from this Tuesday to this the 7th is $300, or actually from the 1st to the 7th is $300. And then I'm going to add this amount, which was $180.15, because I already charged it. And then I'm going to add this bill that I normally pay, $7.99, and then whatever these fees are, let's just say $15. That is what I'm going to budget for this time period for the first week, knowing that only $300 of it's actually groceries. The rest of it is what's already there. So, and hopefully it clears. It's just going to be a learning curve that I'm trying to figure out going forward. And I just thought I'd kind of show you. You can change up your budget and change a style of budgeting, or how you want to budget to accommodate something new in your life. And it will be a struggle for me in the beginning, but after a while, it'll start making sense. So hang in there with me. So, but yeah, that is my monthly review. I definitely did a lot of spending, and we have closed out Paycheck 3, which ends my monthly review, because this is the page I rely on to give me the numbers I need for next month. And we are ready for next month. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
Think I've had enough. I've been gone, but haven't done much healing. It's pretty clear to me. Kinda strange how I can take a beat from my bed.